title of marriage and what it like stands for.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Being a husband.
exactly, exactly.
How did that change you from who you were before?
I felt like I'm always meant to be husband material.
Yeah.
You know, but all these other girls didn't want to see it. You know. So as I matured, I finally found someone that I could actually, show these pure values. My mother showed me. Where was I going with this?
you, how you became a husband, how
Oh
that
yeah,
changed
yeah,
you.
yeah. And so yes, finally able to uphold these values.
Yeah,
Now I'm there.
yeah,
I'm him now.
yeah. And that's good
You are him.
because that makes me extremely proud because that was like I in the last part that I talked to your brother with your brother about was that the fact that I was given an option to fight from far away, but I decided, you know what, I want to stay close because I want to expose them on how to be a different type of man that they are seeing, right? And so I wanted them to have a balanced idea of what manhood looked like from a woman's perspective. Yes, they've been exposed to other men and other marriages and other families. However, I always was driving into them how important it was for them to take care of their wife and their children and their family, and how that's very important, and how respect and communication and all of these things were, and that they didn't have to pick up bad habits from other people just because they were around other people. You know what I'm saying? They can always have their own mind and their own thoughts. And that was good. And sometimes they took it too far because then they want to be extremely too independent and not listen at times. However, I do get it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I do get it because that's how I raised them to to think independently, even though I wanted them to take a lot of the stuff that they were being taught into
But
consideration.
that's just being human
Yeah.
sometimes too. You think you've been through enough and you've learned it all, you know it all, and then just like I said, we come right back to our parents saying, "Oh, hey,
Mm-hmm.
we
Hey, I'm still learning. I just turned 50
exactly."
and I
That's the
keep learning.
point.
And not only do I keep learning, I keep telling you guys, I'm like, I learned this and I learned that. Why? Because I want you to also know, don't wait until you're my age to learn these things. You know what I'm saying? While I'm learning, I want to expose you guys to those things too. So you get quicker to resolving whatever questions you may have, right?
And vice
Regarding life and stuff.
versa. I
Absolutely,
feel like there's
100%.
stuff that you teach us, and
Yeah.
there's also stuff that we can teach
Oh,
you.
absolutely.
Yeah,
And I love it. And
makes the world go round.
yeah, and I love it, and that's the reason why we're always having. I love having our conversations because they're always in depth. They're always in like funny, and we can laugh at each other and see how we're all are. Now, from you, what do you feel changed when you became a Mrs. versus just being a girlfriend?
I like this question.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the dynamic that I had kind of made me feel to have this level of independency. And so coming to Florida, it's me, it's my career, it's my future, it's my this, it's my that. And don't get me wrong, I feel like majority, you want to have your princess fairy tale moment where you find your significant other, you settle down, you get married, you have the babies, and do all these things. I guess the one thing that I've definitely learned is to balance the level of independence and realizing it's also okay to ask for help and be submissive and vulnerable, and just having that person that can understand
Yeah.
the combination of both just
Yeah.
coming at you like a roller coaster.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because yeah, some
Because
people,
that's a difference.
it
That's
is.
very
It's a
different.
huge difference.
It's a difference between boys and girls, where boys are we we and I see this more clear. We teach boys to be independent. You have to be the head of the house. You need to do these things. Da 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 da. We kind of teach that also to our girls, but we're doing it under the parent. So you're used to your parents as you were young tell you what to do. So even when you don't want to do it, you do it. But when you have to submit to somebody else that is not your parent, that's going to challenge you as a person, because at that point you got to, do I believe what he believes? Do I think he's going to take me the right way? You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't realize that um, when a girl's leaving her dad, now she has to submit to somebody else. She knew her dad got her. And I know your dad got you because you his baby. However, you know what I'm saying, to trust someone else
Yes.
to have the same value for you as well as to take care of you to that degree, um, is a very big thing. And so I think sometimes people don't, women or even guys don't really think about it that much until now you're there and you're like, oh, I, without even thinking about it, oh my God, I've just, but that's not how my dad did it, or that's not how, you know,
Mhm.
because my dad sometimes let me get away with these things. You're not gonna let, because you can't. At that
Mhm.
point, it's a different dynamic, right? And so doing that, how did you feel, Jonathan, walking now into the role of being a husband, but she already has an idea, you know, because she's very close to her dad and stuff.
Mm,
Was that a challenge for you?
of course not.
To
Like I said, I was born
be.
husband material.
and, and how was your relationship with like Thomas and stuff? Because I've seen
Amaze
that
balls. I've
mature
changed his
a lot.
life. I was the son that he's always wanted.
He's peeking around the corner. Don't worry, I'm going to interview the in-laws because we get along very well. However, yeah, but even like that, because I even see like the relationship grow even more because you guys have always
Oh
Right.
been
yeah.
pretty
You know what helps?
communicate. What?
Anime.
I know that was gonna come up at
Oh, for
some
sure.
point. At some point, having mutual hobbies and stuff like that helps a lot. But I think the level of respect that you've always had for him and he always has for you, I think that as your hobbies came in, it helped flourish more. Because I see you
Oh
guys are
yeah.
even tighter than what you've always been. Because you've always been very respectful,
Oh
and
yeah.
he's been the same way. But I think over the years, you guys have gotten even closer,
Yeah,
and
yeah. Well,
you can literally see that.
the anime was like a cherry on the top. I could
Yeah,
definitely tell like the difference from like what he was or how he treated.
was
It's not like he treated me in a different type of
yeah.
way, but it was
It's
more
getting
so
more
like
comfortable.
the energy
Yeah,
was like, huh,
that's
maybe
my
you
boy.
are my son.
And I know that's very important to you. I know that you having that type of relationship with him is very important to you, as I know it's very important to you as well, Nisa. But I know that for Jonathan, that was very important to have be that close. It's even on a dad perspective, right?
Mhm.
It's very important for him as well.
I expressed tenfold how tight of a unit I think the foundation that we have with my parents
Hmm.
is, and so
Yeah.
yeah, you've acclimated nicely.
Or
Yeah.
rather, they've acclimated to me.
Also, hey,
Yeah,
touche,
hey,
touche.
Because
it's
I'm the
been
whole
it's
character.
been a
Yes,
two-way thing
absolutely.
because all personalities have to
You don't
mesh
realize
together.
how much you end up finding someone that is similar to
I
at least
know,
one of your parents until
I
you're really in
know,
it.
I know.
And more so this year, more than ever, I'm like,
Yes.
am I sure I'm the daughter in this house right now? Like, is it them two versus me? But you know what?
But
They're
he needed his ally. Like your
oh,
dad need
100%.
his dad. Your dad needed his ally. It's like, hey, I got my guy here, so it's gonna be okay.
Oh yeah, peas in a pod. Peas in a pod. I couldn't ask for it to be. Well, I already know it'll get better in the future.
Oh
It's
yeah,
only
for
gonna get
sure.
better and
Oh my
crazier.
God,
Yeah,
especially
Anya's
with
gonna be on our
Anya's
side.
here.
She's gonna be
Yeah.
on our side.
Anya's gonna be on the guy's side.
Yep,
With
100%.
between dad and
Oh man.
grandpa, it's all gonna be. Don't worry. But when it's time to go shopping, she's be like, "Ma,
Right?
grandma, where
The
you
nails
at?"
done.
She's like, she's gonna be a very well-rounded young lady
Absolutely.
for sure. So I'm gonna turn a little bit towards Faith. Um,
Our
in
sister?
no, not your sister Faith,
Oh.
but our faith, our belief. So even though, and I did it in the pod with Ezekiel before, even though I didn't raise the kids like going to church every day and stuff, that was something that was very instrumental. I always talk to the kids about God and praying and stuff like that. And so I think that over time, at some point in our life, we're going to have to lean into something that feels that's stronger than us and can get us through the other side, right? And I know that when Jonathan was struggling a little bit when he was younger, like where do I place my emotions and how do I deal with the two different lifestyles that I live, because he lived a different lifestyle with his dad that he lived with me.
Right.
And so to have to navigate that very earlier on, we talked about praying. And so that was always, honey, pray. Like the minute something's feeling like it ain't the right thing, we got to pray. To this day, him and I had a conversation a couple of nights ago. And I'm like, babe, we had the conversation. I'm like, okay, and I'm going to pray for you. You know what I'm saying? I think that even if we weren't in church all the time, that was very important for me to know that there was something stronger and bigger than us that can lead us. And so, how do you guys feel through your life, how faith or your belief has, you know what I'm saying, impacted you to where you guys are now? Because you guys are very young still. You guys are under 30.
I'm 30.
He's 30. But 30 and under. How about we put it at that? And so I just wanted to know how has that played a part in your life?
Faith?
Faith, yeah. How has Let's start with you, Jonathan. How
As
has
long
faith?
as I have faith, everything shall go well.
Mm-hmm. Is that that's how you
Yep.
process everything?
Yep. 100%. I go about it with work. I go about it with my marriage. I go about it with my video games. I go about it with my life. Just keep on having faith, and everything will just turn out.
And that's the reason why you're so kumbaya about it. That's why you are so sold, and which it's amazing to me, because I think about it, and you and I have had multiple conversations about this. Because at first I think that was a little bit like, but why aren't you like upset and worried? And he's like, because I have faith. And it's like just the way he says it, it's like sometimes he does it to me too, and I'm like, but what? And he's like, well, and so I want to hit him over the head, but however, that's just his nature, which I love. I love that. I think it gives us like, okay, we need to chill out, because if he's okay, then it's gonna be okay. So I'm very grateful that his faith is that way. It's like, hey, I have faith that it's gonna work itself out. And how do you feel? And how do you feel like growing up and like learn? Because it's a little bit of a different dynamic. Yeah.